Hello and happy Monday. Welcome to my channel. This is episode 2 of Let's Talk, and we're going to talk about white cardstock. Um, as you can see, there are so many different white cardstocks to choose from, and this is only just a sampling of what there is. These are ones that I use and am comfortable with. Um, so I'm just going to kind of share a little bit about different weights of cardstock, and there's so many different things, and it's totally preference on what you like to work with and also what kind of techniques you use. Um, this is a basic cardstock. What you kind of find, this one I got at Michael's. Any kind of big box store usually has this type of cardstock. It's a 65 pound, which is a very low weight paper, and you can see here it bends. It's much thinner. It's a lighter weight because it's lighter. It's not as heavy as some of the thicker cardstocks, but you can get 50 in a pack for $7, so it's pretty reasonable. Now this is Neenah Classic Crest Solar White Smooth Cardstock. This is 80 pound, and you can see here a ream on Amazon is about $25, and it's a little thicker, and it just depends on what you use your cardstock for. This is great for die cuts or adding dimension under your die cuts. It's great for coloring as well. This is a little heavier of a cardstock. Let's see, this is 100 pound, and this is Simon Says white glossy cardstock. And I thought about not including this, but I decided to because this white cardstock is more of a specialty cardstock, I guess you would call it, because it has a slick surface, so it's very good for hot foiling. Um, I don't know how alcohol inks would work on it, but it might work pretty well. But you can kind of see that there's a difference, in cardstock surfaces. This Hammermill cardstock is a cardstock I've really been enjoying. It's great for ink blending. It's very smooth. It's pretty reasonable. It's thicker too. It's 100 weight. And then you can see 250 sheets or a ream is about $34. So, you get quite a bit, and it does last you depending on, how much you use it. This is another 100 pound, just a different brand, Hero Arts. A lot of stamp companies and other companies in general carry their own white cardstock. So this one's a little bit has a higher price tag, 25 sheets, and a pack is about $12. But it is good for different techniques. Thicker cardstock is good for if you enjoy Copic coloring. So it's always good to just play around with cardstocks because what works for one person might not work for someone else and vice versa. So um, just play around, and it's paper, so just recycle it. It makes it nice. This is a little thicker. It's a Neenah as well. It's 110 pound, and this cardstock is great for card bases because it's nice and thick, so it will stand up well. When you're trying to set it up, it won't bow. The if you use a lighter weight like the 65-pound cardstock, um, the what you get typically at big box stores, it's a little thinner, and your card might not be able to stand up as well. But the Neenah is really good. It's what a lot of crafters go to. It's what I started with. It's great for uh, Copic coloring, die cutting, inking, lots of different techniques. And, just depends on what type of weight and what you're doing with it. And this is mega thick cardstock, 130 pound. This stuff is is thick stuff. This is pretty pricey though. 10 sheets is $10, so $1 a sheet. So, um, this one might not be one you want to use for card bases, but is great for Copic coloring because it's a thicker material and can really absorb a lot. But you can kind of see on the left there that 65-pound. It's a little hard to see on camera, but it is much lighter, 65 pounds as opposed to 130, so it is much thinner. You can kind of see there in the light on the left, you can see my fingers through it. So, depending on what type of technique you're using, you might not want to use the 65-pound because you won't necessarily get the results you want. So papers is pretty important, but play around with different types, do different techniques on different weights, um, and just see what works for you. And definitely, you don't have to get the most expensive cardstock to, make beautiful things. So just play around. And it's paper, so you can recycle it and try again later. I hope this helped. All the supplies I listed are here on the screen. If you have any questions, drop me a message. And thank you so much for being here. Bye.